Hey guys, welcome back to the Function Thru Fitness YouTube channel. I'm John, and this is Glen with me today, and we're going to talk to you guys a little bit about shoulder pain.
So how do you typically assess shoulder pain as a trainer?
So my assessment process is relatively new, and what I've been doing is, so I take 3 measurements. One is external rotation, the other one is internal rotation, and then we also do flexion as well, and do both sides.
And what are you looking for when you do those things?
Generally speaking, I'm just kind of trying to see where they're at, because usually they're coming here for pain. So that means they're already in a troublesome spot. But as far as the ideal measurements go, we're looking for 120 degrees of shoulder flexion, 90 degrees of external rotation, and then 70 degrees of internal rotation.
And once you get those measurements, what do you do with that data?
So once I acquire that data, say they're not at those ranges that I talked about, there are a couple exercise interventions that I can bring people through. And usually I just do the test-retest method, so I'll see where their numbers are at. I'll do an exercise with them, usually involves breathing, and then I'll retest directly after, see if it helps. If it helps, it's worth repeating. If it doesn't, we'll find a different exercise.
And once you do those things, what are the ideal measurements to have when you compare that data?
Gotcha. So then, so once again, we're looking for 70 internal, 90 external, and then 120 shoulder flexion. If you can get those 3 things, you probably won't have shoulder pain.
And there's a main topic of how does the rib cage influence scapular movement? Do you want to go into that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So the rib cage is a convex structure. It's circular. Your scapula is concave. So you need a circular structure at the rib cage for that to glide around. To make sure that this can glide around the surface as you move your arm in various directions. So if you are compressed through T2 roughly through T7, all of the ribs that the shoulder blade articulates on, it's going to be kind of flat and stuck and make this a clunky process, for lack of a better word. And if you can get the rib cage to expand posteriorly through certain types of breathing exercises, you are giving that, you're restoring that convex structure that the shoulder blade can articulate on and make it more smooth. So a couple things that I like to do with people is have them do it's called short seated breathing. And in that position, you have your arms extended and you're just focusing on breathing and getting air into the backside of the rib cage. And then I'll take their measurements after, and 9 times out of 10, it improves.
So what happens after you do these things with your clients if after the assessment process and exercise intervention, the measurements are still limited and the pain is still there?
That does happen sometimes. So typically when that happens, I'll try a different exercise and see if that works. That's usually my first shot. But if my back's up against the wall and I don't really know what to do from there, most likely there are trigger points somewhere in the muscles in between the shoulder blades, or even can be in between the rib cage itself that's keeping it really compressed. And then if that's the case, I am not certified in MMT yet. Otherwise, I would do that, but I would refer them to Glen and have him take over from there.
So just to add to that, there's other muscles of the rotator cuff. In general, rotator cuff's 4 muscles that help to rotate the arm. Maybe trigger points within those muscles that are preventing that muscle from working correctly or keeping it in a pattern where it's tight, and they're actually causing some of the pain. We would really like it if someone didn't have to go that route first and was able to manage this on their own. But sometimes these trigger points are pretty stubborn and we can't get them to leave that particular muscle group unless we apply some manual therapy to those. And for that, someone's laying down on the table and we're addressing those issues. And then the nice thing about here is then we can then refer back to the trainer and then see the progress that the person's made and see what kind of movements they can do at this point. So there's more than just myself here that does neuromuscular therapy. Chad is also certified in neuromuscular therapy. So we really try to work together as a team to kind of correct some of these issues.
If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. You can also check out our website. All links to our social media and our website are in the description box.